Hey there! In this short video, we'll quickly walk through how to use FlowQuote to create an instant estimate form for your website. It's really simple and it all starts right here in the form builder. Now, the way it works is that you want to ask your website visitor some questions that will help you determine a ballpark estimate for your service. Once the user has answered all the questions, we'll add up their responses and show them an estimate. To begin, we simply need to add some questions into the form that we'll embed on our website later. The questions you ask are entirely up to you. For the sake of example, I'm going to pretend to be a car washing service. So what I'd do is I'd click on New Question, and I'd ask my first question about my car washing service. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask, what size car would you like us to wash? Actually, what I'm going to say is, what size vehicle would you like us to wash? And hit Create Question. So what I'm going to say is, small car, medium van, and I want to add a third answer, so I can click on Add Answer. And here we have large truck. So these are the three potential answers for this question. Now what I can do is set a price for each of these. So what I'm going to say is the cost to wash a small car is $19.99. Right, that's my price. What I'm going to say for a medium van, I call that $25.99. And for a large truck, we do $49.99. Now these prices are entirely up to you. It really depends on your service and what you want to use FlowQuote for. These are just prices I made up for this false car wash service. You can also choose to allow multiple answers, but that doesn't make sense in this case. Multiple answers is like saying, select any of the following that apply. I'm just going to go ahead and hit Save Question. I'm just going to hit New Question. And I'm going to say, would you like us to wax your vehicle? Create question. Now this is a very simple yes or no question, so I'm just going to type yes or no. But I'm not going to set any price for this, because if they say no, it's not going to add any price to their estimate. But if they say yes, I want to ask them some more specific questions that will determine the price of the wax. Now what I can do for that is I can activate a subset of questions by clicking on Next Action, Load a New Subset. Now I just call this subset whatever I want, whatever makes sense to me. So in this case, I'm going to call it wax. The subset is questions about our wax service. So maybe I call it wax service, sorry. And hit Create Subset. Now I'm the only person who can see that. As you can see, the next action for this is now set to the subset wax service. And if I hit Save Question, it'll take us back to this main list, but we'll have a brand new item called wax service subset. I can go into this, and I'm able to add new questions that will only get asked if that subset is activated. So now I could ask, what type of wax service would you like? I'm just going to say regular wax, $10 for, or premium wax, which we charge $20 for. Save question. Now, one thing you may have noticed earlier is that we now have these two new buttons down here, View Preview and Get Embed Code. Let's take a look at the preview, which we can see any time that we're on this page. If I hit View Preview, you can actually see the instant estimate form as it's being built. So here we have Fred's Car Wash Service, subtitle, Get a Free Instant Estimate, and if I hit Click to Start, it's going to ask the questions that we've already defined. So what size vehicle would you like us to wash? Well, I'm going to wash my small car. Continue. Would you like us to wax your vehicle? If I hit no, nothing's going to happen and the estimate's going to be finished because there's nothing beyond that. But if I hit yes, it's going to activate the wax subset. So I'm just going to hit yes. What type of wax service would you like? Here's where the price for wax comes in. So I'm going to say premium wax. Now I've finished. I've answered all possible questions in that subset. It's jumped back to the root to see there's no more questions. And so the whole thing's done. And it gives me the final estimate for this. $39.99. I can then choose to get in touch, which will pull up a lead form with the information that you request. When I hit continue, the email is sent to you as a user of FlowQuote with all of the information that they just filled out. You can change any of the text that you saw in the preview on the settings by hitting Form Settings. Here you can change the name, the color, the currency that you want the form to use. You can also change that text, so the welcome text said get a free instant estimate, but you can have that say whatever you want it to say. You can also announce the estimate in its own way. You can also provide an error message. For example, if someone says that they want an enterprise level service and you don't want to give them that estimate online, you can pop up an error message that says, sorry, we cannot provide an accurate estimate online, or whatever you want this text to say, and prompt them to contact you directly for an estimate. You can also set some basic settings here for calculations, such as the base price that you should begin with, and the adjustment percentage that will happen at the end. You can also choose whether or not to use intelligent rounding to round up to the nearest whole value. So instead of saying $39.99, it would round up to $40 as an estimate. This is better when you're trying to ballpark something and you don't want to provide an exact number. You can also choose where to put the lead form, at the start before any questions are asked, at the end after the estimate is provided, or you can choose not to show a lead form if you have your own conversion funnel on the same page. You can also choose the different categories of information that get asked for, such as the street address or company. When you're done, hit Save Settings. The last thing you need to know is how to embed the form. Simply click on Get Embed Code. This is the one line of code that you actually need to embed the form on your website. Simply copy this by hitting right-click Copy or Control-C and paste it on your website wherever you want the form to show up. The great thing about this is once the embed code is on your website and it's working, you can easily change the assessment, change the form, change the settings, change answer options, even change the pricing, and it will update on your website live. We hope you enjoy your 10-day FlowQuote trial account. Once those 10 days are up, or whenever you feel like it, you can activate your account for only $4 a month. That will allow you to use FlowQuote permanently on your website. If you have any questions, feel free to get in touch at any time. We'll be glad to help.